Welcome to People. I'm Shirley Lin. Now, if you've heard of the 2010 International Flora Expo here in Taipei and how there was this building called the Eco Arc, which is made up of 1.5 million PET bottles. Well, Arthur Huang is the guy who invented that building, and he is also the founder and managing director of Miniwiz. Well, let's first of all welcome Arthur. Hi, Arthur.
Hello. Hi, Shirley.
Okay. So what is Miniwiz?
Miniwiz, actually, we started off the company as a company that tried to help people to reduce your carbon footprint. So it's actually started out as Minimize. But obviously, you cannot trademark a company based on minimize because that's a real word. So we just turned the M over, symbolizing the recycling of our products.
Oh, I see. Now, I'm going to ask a strange question. Does the start of your company have anything to do with the way, your upbringing, by your parents? I mean, were your parents like, I don't know what to say, a very frugal, loving the earth kind of people? They're always teaching you to love the earth, to value everything that you own in your life, or things like that?
No, actually, of course, all that it comes with the upbringings. I think the upbringing is part of it is actually coming from Taiwan and in Asia in general. Everybody will say their parents is cheap, their parents is frugal, very conservative. But in reality, I think for sustainability, this minimizing your waste is such Asian culture. So that became part of my upbringing when I was growing up in Asia. And so when I was when I was being educated in the United States and in Europe, I really see the difference in terms of how people consume. And this is when you have that kind of the eureka moment, saying that, wow, this is why we have the sustainability issues. Because if we live like our parents in Asia, or like many of my uncles and aunts, who are always thinking about turning off lights, who are always thinking about saving as much as possible, really, there won't be as much of a sustainability or environmental issue today because their consumption needs is very low relative to many of a very huge capitalistic economy.
Oh, okay. So that's what we're talking about, capitalism.
Yes.
And you're trying to make a difference about that. Well, let's go back a little bit. I understand that you studied architecture at Harvard and also went on for further studies at Cornell. Right?
Actually, the opposite.
I went to
Cornell for undergrad and then Harvard for graduate school.
Oh, all right. And then, so after you graduated, what did you do and what were you thinking?
When I actually graduated from architecture school in Cornell, I actually work in product design firms, architecture firms. Then I go on to graduate school. Of course, I started doing my own practice, and I started teaching at a university level.
What were you teaching?
Teaching also architecture.
Architecture.
And of course, my personal interest is this business strategy and how to innovate a sustainable business model initially.
So you already had this mindset from the very beginning when you graduated because you're young. I'm sure that it was like in the last, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 years, maybe not 20 years.
15 years,
the whole,
yes.
Okay, 15 years. When the whole world is coming to this conscience about loving the earth and cutting down on, CO2 emissions and that kind of stuff. And so you're born into this generation. And so,
exactly, yeah.
Right, so obviously you have this mindset and so then whatever you were doing was towards this goal. And that's how you started your company in 2006, I guess?
Yes. So I think actually in 2005 we already started.
Okay.
But 2006 is when we actually officially registered. I think one of the interesting thing for us, how we started, is actually, it's out of a spite. We're just angry at, I think, I personally think you can turn anger into a lot of things. We're angry that we're talking about sustainability, we're talking about all kinds of problems with environmental issues, but there's no solutions. So part of when I was teaching as a professor, I almost feel embarrassed talking about the problem because I cannot offer a solution. And one of the biggest revelation for me is when a couple of students in one of my class, after the class, I was walking behind them. They don't know I was
listening to
their conversations, and they were just saying that, I mean, this guy, they're just saying me as a young professor, this guy hasn't done anything. That's one thing, which is true.
Okay.
The second is, they say, where are the prototype? There are none. There are none out there. So I just thought, why? I'm so young. I mean, we have a lot of friends who have the same ideal. We should do something together that's actionable.
Right.
That's mean we can start the action now. So since I was young, I'm always more like the doing type. I like to make things happen.
Good for you.
So I don't like to talk about it. So we decided to start the company with a couple of friends. And of course, all this is, you start off by being angry at what is happening and how come no one's doing anything. So what can we offer in return?
You probably should have. Did you go back and thank those two students?
I should have, but
yeah. Wow, they got you started. That's great because a lot of times people are just angry and they just pen it up inside. They don't do something about it, and it's actually hurting people around them. But you've done amazing things. You've really done amazing things. I mean, considering that you're young, what I was amazed is that you're young and you're actually putting all this. Everybody's just talking about it, what people should be doing, but then nobody's really doing it. But you're someone who's doing something, and at a young age. And I feel like you must have a very good upbringing to have this kind of mentality and making things happen.
No, I first of all, of course, thanking parents and my brothers who are almost the same age as me, who we are competing continuously, we're fighting continuously. This is great. This is where, this closeness also spark competitions. I think this is, in general, this is how people improve, try to think outside the box. But I think there's something that's also very interesting, in this whole, I guess, the startup stories, is that there are a lot of very smart people out there. It's not just me who's thinking about the same issues. And there are a lot of powerful people who are thinking about the same issues. And me, I think I just got lucky in a way that I'm trying to do something, and that there are very powerful uncles and families who are willing to support and willing to actually buy into the idea. And then, of course, this takes a lot of exercise to prove that this idea might work. Okay, and so I think for a lot of younger generations, I'm like close to 35 too. So, for the generation below me, I would say is a lot of people are more interested in saying, why don't you listen to me? I think what they didn't understand is before someone has to listen to you, you have to prove that you're worth it.
Yeah.
And at least you have to prove that you have somewhat of a value that deserves people's time. I think this is, when I was in the 20s, I think this is one of a thing I always feel embarrassed to ask people for things because I feel like I have no value.
Oh, really?
Okay.
But you're so different now.
No.
Considering, I'm sure, I got a feeling you must have had a lot of sleepless nights where I feel like your brain is probably a mind that just doesn't stop ever, even when doing sleep. Because, first of all, you already proved yourself with this EcoArc, collecting 1.5 million PET bottles made from recycled waste. How did you do that? And what was it that triggered this thought?
No, it's actually, lots of things are really dumb. You know, this idea of recycling turning into a building has been around since 1950s.
Oh.
Okay, I wasn't
okay.
No, it has nothing to do with architecture.
You're right, I know.
A lot of people has thought about it. I really cannot corner this idea saying that this is ours. This is really not. I also cannot corner as saying that this is our technology. It's not. Okay, it is actually a combination of many people's technology.
Okay.
Okay, so what we did actually is combining all the different, from the manufacturing side, from the material side, all the way to the architecture side, all the way to the construction side. So we're the interface between all these different parties. So what we did is, yes, and right now I'm spokesperson for this project. I'm a spokesperson for this type of technology, but in reality, it's a combination of these different technology. And people who has to have this capability for years of experience. I'm leveraging on their experience. I'm leveraging on Far Eastern Group's resources. I'm leveraging on a very powerful chairman's good faith, right? I'm leveraging on a guy who is in a factory for 50 years or 40 years who never got a chance to do something completely interesting. And all this knowledge actually intersects together with this project. And that is the point of this project, because when we receive EcoArc, which is sponsored by one of the most famous group called Far Eastern Group in Taiwan. They're one of the biggest PET producers too. In order for us to do that, one of our mission is not just sustainability. It has to be sustainable. That's no question asked. But the second, one of the biggest mission we have is to innovate. I just want to state that innovations and inventions is very different.
Okay.
We really did not invent honeycomb. Honey.
Yeah.
The beads has the honeycomb. No, we did not invent the honeycomb structure. We did not invent the material needs to be folded in order to be strong. Everybody does that structurally. We did not invent the joint system because Chinese architecture has that joint system since 1,000 years old.
Okay.
So a lot of this is a combination of. So innovation is about leveraging some of a base knowledge. We're just putting it together in a different way to turn out into to actually repackage into a different product that people want, a different building that people find interesting, a building that costs less, the building that has less environmental footprint, and at the same time, the building that people see value as a main pavilion at the expo. So it has to be bright, it has to be attractive, it has to be this lantern piece that kind of attract people from all over it has to be cool naturally to show people the spectacle of a big waterfall, for example. It's a little bit of marketing, actually.
Yeah. Well, you know what? One thing I couldn't understand is that I know you went around, well, your team of people, or actually a lot of people, went out collecting all these recyclable plastic bottles. But then you melt them down and then reform them into, so that they all look the same. They were hexagonal plastic bottles.
Yes.
It always amazes me how that works because they're translucent, those bottles. But obviously, they were all coming from different, recycled stuff. And how does that work? It amazes me.
No, it's just, in reality, it's actually a hexagonal shape that interlocks and twisted we twisted 30 degrees.
But what I was asking is, how were they able to, from all the different recycled stuff, and then transformed into the same color?
Oh, okay.
And they all look the same.
This is manufacturing technology. You're talking about two technology here, recycling technology and remanufacturing technology. Okay, and this combines Taiwan two of the biggest strength, I think. When I came back to Taiwan, when I was growing up in Taiwan, I never feel Taiwan is such a big petrol-based economy. We are.
Really?
And when we're in the U.S., it's like, Taiwan, the plastic capital of the world. Okay.
Yeah.
We
Taiwan
are.
Plastic, yeah.
Taiwan Plastic, Far Eastern Group, which is all making polyesters, all the plastic things that you see globally are actually made here from crude oil.
Okay.
As this industry progresses, it turns into this recycling industry. And because Taiwan has so little natural resources, it actually becomes the only way for us to improve the costs. When all the clients in the U.S., when they want to reduce the cost, you have to add in more recycled materials. Okay, so right away the recycling industry become a boom because we have no natural resources. We have to reduce amount of virgin material we take in, so we start recycling. We are one of the biggest recyclers in the world.
All right.
Okay, and our recycling rate is one of the highest also in the world.
Wow.
So all the technology is here. The second is, the iPhone, the iPods, all the computers, laptops, all that is made here. Invented here, kind of.
Right.
So our manufacturing technology are so sophisticated and the leader in the world that, wow. And all of a sudden when you came back and you're talking to different vendors, different factories, different 师傅, different engineers at different factory plants, you're like, wow, they know way more than all the theoretical thoughts in the United States. Because these guys actually implemented thousands, millions of products for years. So that's why when you're talking about polybrick, how did it get to that shape, that size? How did it get to be so uniform and precise? So all that had to thank the Taiwan industries.
All right.
Okay, the chemical side and also all the remanufacturing side.
Wow. Well, I learned that there are a lot of things we need to be proud of being part of Taiwan. But let's take a break here before we go on to talk more about what Miniwiz also do. Welcome back to People. I'm Shirley Lin. I'm speaking with Arthur Huang, who is the founder and managing director of Miniwiz, a sustainable development company?
Yes.
Right. Well, what else does Miniwiz do? I'm seeing something here. This is part of what you do in your company. Can you explain what this beautiful thing is?
It's actually a wine rack. It's like a wine carrying case. So you can actually... before I get into the material side, I can actually just show you. This is actually where you put the wine, and you can actually use it as a packaging when you actually carry wine back from the shop. Okay. And it can be interlocked to create a collections of wine holding case.
Right.
It can also be turned around into this direction, and you can become a wine rack. It can be stacked efficiently this direction. And one of the key component for this key features for this product is that it actually protects the wine from dropping onto the ground.
Seriously? You mean if you drop this whole thing with a bottle of wine inside, it's not going to break?
The wine's not going to break, but the case might break. Yes.
Really?
Yes. This is part of R&D that we do because we have we have mechanical, structural, and chemical engineers in our company that we are helping to turn a waste material into something useful. Of course, if something is useful, preferably the initial type of products that we want to get into are products that are sexy.
Okay.
Wine is a very sexy habit, so we want to try to use the very not so useful products, a useful material like waste computer. A lot of waste computer has a lot of nice heavy metals and precious metal in it. Once you extracted the heavy metals and the precious metal, you're left with a lot of trash. That trash is actually the glass fiber.
Okay.
So this material is actually glass fiber mixed with plastic bottle cap. Okay, so the cap is made from PE. So this is also 100% made from trash.
Oh.
Okay.
So, but you were saying that this was like the frame of a computer.
No, the motherboard.
Oh, the motherboard.
Yeah.
Frame. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know it was made from glass fiber.
Yeah, so actually the waste recycled glass fiber.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and this actually won the Innovation Award for CES, Consumer Electronics. You probably wonder, when you see this as a consumer electronic in Las Vegas, what is this? How is consumer electronic related to wine? Okay, it is because this is the end of a consumer electronics. It's turned into a lifestyle products. So which is, I think this is a very interesting shift from, people get surprised, or how is this related to electronics?
Yeah. You thought of the design for that?
Actually, my company did. Okay, so there is a group of very talented people in the office. For example, this product design actually is derived from our R&D directors, who is a local Taiwanese educated engineer and architect who love packaging.
Oh, packaging.
So this is a packaging solutions for lots of different products.
Now, I understand your team of, you've got 40 people?
Yes.
And they're from not just Taiwan, but also from Italy, Germany, and Russia?
Yes.
How did you find all these people? Were you guys like classmates together?
No, a lot of them are. We are classmates together. So you can imagine when I was growing up, we have lots of friends from Cornell, lots of friends from, and then their friends. Then we meet and we have similar goal. They have new skills and talents which we need. So then we kind of all came together as a team. And for a young team like ours, our average age is around 30, 31. For a design or engineering firm, that's actually quite old, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because when you go to an architecture office these days, you actually see one older professional with all these 23, 24-year-olds. Our office is actually not like that. Our office is actually more on the lower end of the 20s and the lower end of 30s, which is interesting because when you acquire a certain professional skills, what you're looking for is actually a stage to actually be able to implement what you have learned. And so we are creating a stage, per se, or a platform for talented people to be part of this solution.
All right. Well, actually, older people are smarter, right? Because we have more experience.
I think in general, there's nothing called older people or younger people. I think it's a mindset issue.
Okay.
But I think in general, people in the office, even at different ages, I'm considered one of the older one in the office.
Right.
But I have to say, I think in my mind, I'm actually probably younger than most of the young people.
Young at heart and young in mind.
No, you're curious.
Curious.
People have to be curious about their surrounding. What I'm actually most afraid of is a lot of a young hire we have these days who has a huge conflict.
Of course, you're not talking about your colleagues.
I mean, before,
young people in general.
No, actually, even young people we thought who were very talented, but they're not curious. They're not curious about the surrounding. They're not curious about why we're doing certain things. It becomes a huge conflict. So I think for us, as long as we're always curious, doesn't matter what age you have. And then the platform is there to support all kinds of innovations. And one of the things we value a lot is not talking about something. Okay, it's about doing something.
Putting into action.
Yes.
What is this other thing? Can you...
Okay. So these are, I can show you here.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
So these are actually made from, again, rice husk, which is, imagine you eat a bowl of rice.
Yeah.
You actually have 20% of material are wasted that you don't know of. You just know I'm eating a bowl of rice and turn to my feces. But in reality, there is 20% of waste. Where does that go? Go to landfills? Go burn it used as heat recycling. So we're using that material and we turn that into a structural enhancement for a lot of the plastic material. So we're using the rice husk as a structural enhancement, cosmetic as enhancement, also strength enhancements. So the material technology is very simple. There's only 3 ways of making waste plastic strong. You can fold it like a paper.
Yeah.
The other way is obviously you can bridge it, which is having these little, what we call carbon fiber, right? It's actually bridging the material to create a stronger bond. You're linking material to material. The third way, which is one of the things that we invented, let's say innovated, is called silicon dioxide from the rice husk and the barley husk. In the husk has a lot of silica. Silica is a type of, this guy gets a little bit too technical, but basically we are changing the molecular structure of the waste material. The reason why waste material are not used before is because it's softer, it's weaker, it's not as appealing, it's not having this design factor, it cannot be accurately remanufactured, it cannot be economical when you actually remanufacture them. A lot of this technology we innovated is to make trash usable in the consumer space. Fireproofing, structurally sound, okay, and it's also appealing enough to be hugging over a beautiful iPhone, okay, and accurate enough to be able to control the manufacturing. So this is the type of technology we are looking at, and we are innovating, and we are turning that into products.
I understand that Miniwiz has a motto called "No Virgins." You want to explain what that is?
Yeah. First of all, it's our messages is always a little bit out there to most people.
You want to be different from everybody.
No. We
Actually, it stands out. Maybe people will start paying attention.
Oh no, we call it aggressive.
That's what you were going to say. But the other thing is that you think young entrepreneurs these days need to be more aggressive.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, this all ties in together, right? No virgins and aggressive entrepreneurs.
Yeah. Aggressive means action, right? You have to take actions.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to have a term that's short, concise, but explain everything that the company's mission is. Our company mission, till this day, still the same. No virgin. We don't want to use virgin material. We try to use 100% recycled material. And that is a huge amount of problems. So we innovate to follow that mission. Okay. So of course when we walk around with a T-shirt that says "No Virgin," now you walk into a club, people probably thought it's some sexual connotation. But in reality, what we are really trying to say is, please, let's not use virgin material. Okay.
Can you give an example?
Everything without weird. Except on me actually, but. For example, everything that you wear, everything we touch currently in this room are all made from virgin material. There's no recycled content in it.
How do you know for sure?
I know, I'm pretty sure. Okay, for example, this vinyl leather seats that we're sitting on, this teak wood chair frames, it's not from recycled source, definitely. Okay.
Not from recycled source, okay.
Not from recycled, post-consumer recycled source.
Right, yeah, okay.
So this is all made from, this is petroleum, virgin petroleum, turning that into a vinyl.
Oh, from like the raw material, from the very, very first material. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so all this is actually non-virgin material. All these are actually virgin material. Okay. So the idea is our idea is if we can do something very interesting, is we can make a chair that's all made from no virgin material. It's actually quite hard.
Yeah.
So we tried to make a boat. We made a boat made from 100% trash and actually sank. It actually didn't do very well. Okay.
Oh. What was the problem?
There's a lot of technology issues. Material has problems. How to actually joint these material. These material has softening points. It get oversaturated with water. There's a lot of technical problem that goes into that. So the idea is all the innovation based on try to make everything out of trash. Real trash, post-consumer trash, 100% trash. So
I think there are some companies that are trying to make clothes from recycled material, right?
Yes, so there's lots of supply chain that comes with that. And I want to give the audiences a little bit very interesting note. Most of recycled yarns actually come from Taiwan. Really.
All right.
So the raw
These things,
material
yeah.
came from actually a lot of Taiwan manufacturer who came out with recycled PET, let's say polyester yarns. Okay, actually that's about it. And that goes into soccer jersey, but the demand for recycled yarns is still not big enough. The reason is because I don't think...
We're not educated enough about this.
No, but I on the other hand, I think education comes from you wanting to buy something that you think you want to buy, right? For example, you come out with a recycled yarn, clothes. It look like crap. You don't want to buy it, right? It's not fashionable. You don't want to buy it. So we need more talented designers. We need more talented people who think, wow, this design is cool. I'm going to come up with a cool design using recycled material. Part of my job is promoting young, talented people to use their design energy and creativities and thinking about using 100% recycled material. There is a lot of difficulties in sewing recycled material together, for example.
So is that your goal for the future for Miniwiz?
No, I think goal for Miniwiz is a for-profit company. For-profit company is living up to its mission and make sure the company makes money. Okay, and for us, proving that the company makes money is very important because a sustainable company with a good mission should deserve its financial rewards, and that will have more people who want to follow our footsteps in doing similar design work, similar engineering works, using no virgin material.
All right. Well, Arthur, it's been so interesting hearing you talk and your mission, your goal, and the things that you're innovating. I wish we could, hear more about your stories. I'm sure we will be hearing a lot more successful stories from your company and from Arthur. So thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you.
Thank you for watching, people. I'm Shirley Lin.